Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day today. It was an awesome day in the market. You would have never thought it was a Monday morning, even though it kind of started that way when we were doing the scans. But it turned out to be a pretty incredible day. And we'll recap the trade I took today in a few. But I want to share with you, this story. But it's all centered around no more defeats. And when I say no more defeats, I'm not saying no more losing trades. We're going to have losing trades. It's part of our business. But we can't let those trades defeat us. We can't let what's happening in the market or anything defeat us and beat us down and make us feel bad. We have to stay positive. We have to stay on top of it. We need to put all that baggage that we're carrying behind us and come in the market new, fresh, and positive every day. If we come in with that defeatist mindset, the market is going to eat us alive. So no more defeats. The story I want to share with you, I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan through and through. And yeah, sometimes it's tough. We have to go through the down times, and it seems like that chicken curse gets us just about every year. But, I follow pretty much all the teams. And the baseball team, this was a rebuilding year. We had a new coach. And the team started to show progress, but then they would have points of when they just didn't seem to have it. And they came out against this team, one of the smaller teams in our state, a team they should have beat handily. They could have put in a freshman pitcher that had no experience, and we still should have won. And they ended up getting blown out by this team. And, the coach came to him and said, no defeats. We're tired. You can't go out there with this defeated attitude, because when you start the game with this defeated attitude, you're going to lose every time. And the team got together and they said no more defeats. That didn't mean that they weren't going to lose a game. They knew that the possibility of them winning every game from here on out, was slim. But they were not going to be defeated in the games that they lost. And the team turned it around. They had no chance of making, they had very little chance of making the SEC tournament, their conference tournament, and they made it. They had very little chance of making the NCAA tournament, and they made it. And now they're going to the Super Regional. And, one step away from going to the College World Series. And it all started with that mentality. No more defeats. We cannot let this market defeat us. And we're not going to do it. So no more excuses. You got any excuses, send them to me. And, we'll work on some solutions. So no reason to feel defeated in the market. No matter how bad it treats us. No matter how bad we feel, we can't get defeated. All right, so let's take a look at the trade from today. NKTR. Now, I had kind of written this off initially because this thing had gapped down like $30 already. It was already down $30. We were getting into oversold territory, so I wanted a bounce. And we started getting a bounce here at 9. It wasn't much of a bounce, but, at the open, right here, it pushed up and it got slammed back down. It got rejected pretty good, and it couldn't push over VWAP. And here we kind of set right in on the pre-market low. The opening range low was sitting right on the pre-market low. So as soon as this candle opened, and I said, this is a 5-minute opening range strategy. So I waited. Once we broke the 5-minute opening range low, that's an entry signal. But I waited a tick until we got below the pre-market low. And then I took the trade. And this strategy, this is my go-to strategy every morning. It's about, if you trade it right, it's between 70 and 80% accurate. Here's the thing. Just like anything else, you have to adapt to the market. There are going to be times in the market where it's going to give you false breaks, and you're going to have to adapt by waiting for this candle to close, the first candle after the 5-minute opening range, to close below the level, and then get in and take it down. And the market sometimes is going to be favorable, and you could take it on the break, and it'll give you the good trades. So yeah, you have to adapt. You have to be in tune with the market. But this is probably the oldest strategy on Wall Street. Oldest day trading strategy. And it works with multiple time frames. It's just that right now, the 5-minute opening range, it's been solid. And it's been solid for over a year now. When I first started, I was doing the 15-minute. And that was working real well. But it just kind of backed up. And we've been doing the 5-minute. And this is the strategy that we're going to start, that I'm starting with in the day trading class on Thursday. We're starting with the strategies. And we're going to look at this strategy inside and out, forward and backwards. And this is what I recommend new traders, when they come in the market, to trade this strategy. And trade it for 90 days. And only trade this strategy. You trade the open. Take one trade. If you can take 2 trades in the first 30 minutes, you get out of one and then another one setting up, that's fine. But stick to one strategy, take one trade, and you'd be surprised how much your account can grow if you just take that one trade. Yeah, you're going to have a red day here, a red day there. You're going to have to get better. You're going to have to develop your skill. That's why you're doing it. It becomes automatic. And then when you start adding a little bit of size, you're going to be comfortable with it. You're going to be confident in the strategy and how you can trade it and how you make adjustments and all of that stuff. So, it's going to be a fun ride. So this is what we did today. We entered in right here. My stop was going to be, my technical stop would have been another, this candle to close back above the opening range low. In this case, the VWAP and the 9 and everything was coming down. So if we lost that, then yeah, that would be a stop out. I always have my max loss stop in place, or it may not be a hard stop sometimes. When you get a stock like this and it's volatile, you can't use a hard stop all the time. But in my mind, I knew I was in 200 shares. 50 cents is my stop. So as soon as I got in at 60.50 was my stop. That's my max loss stop. If it hits 60.50, I'm out. Now it could turn around and come back, and I'll get back in if it sets up again. But I'm gonna stick to my stop. But fortunately, in this case, I didn't have to. So I got in, got my first target right here through 59. Took my first target, and before I could set, and this is funny, before I could set my hard stop, it had come all the way back up and went past my entry point. And before I could really get anything going and think straight, we had come back down. So had I set my stop quicker, I would have gotten stopped out. But I didn't, and we came down, and it kind of scared me a little bit. So instead of me waiting to get here, through 58, I took some off at 58.41. And, I kind of got shook by that. And so I took profit at 50 cents, 58.41. Now I was only in 200 shares, so I pieced it out as best I could. And this was a solid winner. scaling out 150, 25, 25. And you can add this up, but we had, I'm pretty sure it was over $200. Even after commissions. So everybody's caught up with this sure trader commissions and $4.95 and all this. That's a crutch. That's a defeatist mindset. That commissions and fees don't mean a damn thing if you got a trade that you're making money on. The only time commission comes into play is when you're short changing your trades. You're trying to scout for small moves with small size. Yeah, the commissions are going to eat you up. But when you look for trades that have potential moves like this, which is what we look for every day, commissions really don't come into play. It just doesn't. And then I typically don't overtrade, but sometimes it does happen. But this was a real nice move. Had I been in 300 shares, I'd have been in for this. I'd have been holding below this to see how far we could get down. But we caught the meat of the move. And me worrying about this could have caused me to make a bad decision. And we don't want to make bad decisions. So I get back in and I'm getting ready to set my stop. And this happens every now and then. I'll click it to stop. But then when I go to move the mouse, it flips it back to market. And so when I click buy, it takes me out of the trade. Now it happens every now and then when I don't double check it to make sure it didn't flip back, and I didn't. So I waited and got in again. Took some profit along the way, and as we started to recover, I went ahead and took the rest of it off, and I was done for the morning. I go to lunch around 11. This was trying to, bounce and recover, and I said we come back and entertain it later on, but there was really no reason to. I had a solid morning in, almost $500 on 200 shares. That's all I traded, 200 shares. And, hey, I probably could have doubled my money because it made a nice, strong move, after lunch. And, I was talking everybody through it in the afternoon. And what I'm changing in chat is the way I am teaching. Now, I teach every day in chat. It may not have been as effective in previous months, but think about when you were in class. You were learning, you were in school. The teacher taught you the theory, taught you the foundation, the fundamentals, and then they demonstrated it. They demonstrated success. They showed you what success looks like. And that's what I'm doing in the morning, at the open. And I'm demonstrating what success looks like. Whether it's a winning trade, losing trade, I'm demonstrating how you should get into trades, when you should get in, what you should be looking for, all of that. And you're seeing it live happen as I'm trading. You see my trading account. Yeah, sometimes it backfires. It gets embarrassing. Sometimes I just want to crawl up in a corner with how things happen. But fortunately, that's the best way to teach you. And then in the afternoon, after lunch, what I decided to do is make that guided practice time, where you go in and instead of you focusing on when I'm getting in and when I'm getting out and where my targets are and what I'm doing, what happens is you're focusing too much on me and not on your trading, and it hinders your learning. you know, it slows down the learning process. And some people never get out of, I want to know where Ed is because I want to be doing the same thing. You know, that's fine in the morning. In the afternoon, you need to be your own man or woman, and you need to make your own choices. I'm there to answer your questions. You know, I'm there to help you. So if you have a question about something, I'm going to tell you this is what I would do. This is where I would be. You know, so the afternoon is you. In the morning, now there are going to be times where I do trade in the afternoon, and you know, we'll be trading along each other, but I want to get out of the habit of you guys wanting to know where this is, where that is. You know, even though I put it on there, you see my stops. You know, sometimes it's hard to read, or you're not familiar with the DOS platform and you may not be able to see it. But that's what we're going to be doing going forward. So we're going to make sure, you know, that works out. And I think that's going to help a lot of you guys grow, because I'm not trying to create sheep that just keep coming back and that just has to follow me in order to be successful. I want you to be able to go out on your own if you choose to. And that you're only in the community after that because you want to help others. And you want to share what you've done and your success. So that's my goal. I know it's not a good business model, but I'm not trying to be a good businessman. I'm trying to be a good teacher, mentor, and I'm trying to help you guys get to the next level. So that's going to do it for me today. Solid day. You know, these don't happen every day, but when they do, you want to be in position to take advantage of it. So we're going to move forward, go into tomorrow, and, you know, we're going to have the same focus. And if it's a no trade day, then it'll be a no trade day. But all it takes is another day like this, and we've got a solid week if we never take another trade. So you guys take it easy. Have a great night, a great evening, and I will see you first thing in the morning.